Passage to Spiritual Rebirth, Japan's Mountain Ascetics program for the secular. The main goal of my fieldwork was to experience some of Japan's spiritual programs available to lay people. The fieldwork was funded by the Hawai'i Council for the Humanities. I took hundreds of photos documenting my own experience with spiritual training. For this conference, I will be showing select photos featuring Shugendo, a religion of mountain asceticism. Some of these images are the works taken by a professional photographer, Yoshio Wada, who kindly granted me permission to use his photos. On August 5, 2011, I traveled to Japan for a program of Shugendo, a mystical tradition that combines ancient Shinto, esoteric Buddhism, and Taoism with Animism and Shamanism. I participated in the program not to become a mountain ascetic myself, but for research and for my own spiritual reasons. The program was rigorous but short, requiring a full commitment to one weekend and a subsequent Monday. Because Shugendo originates from Japan's ancient tradition of mountain worshipping, we were taken to three holy mountains of Yamagata: Mount Haguro, Mount Gassan, and Mount Yudono. Yamagata is a prefecture located in the northeastern part of Japan. Several photographic images of Shugendo are analyzed in this presentation through the theoretical lens of semiotics and are interpreted within this religious culture. My analysis focuses on architecture, objects, clothes, and ritual activities. I find semiotics to be a useful tool for showing how to read religious images associated with the shapes, colors, and text employed in Shugendo practices. This theoretical framework allows me to go straight into the analysis of symbolism, the signifiers and signifieds of Shugendo that carry religious significance. Two ascetics of Shugendo developed this program for lay people, that is, ordinary people with regular jobs or family obligations. Out of 200 applicants, only 60 people were selected because of the potential danger of traveling through mountains. Those who made it into the program's first day were 56 men and women from all walks of life and of all ages. This photo shows two housewives who came to the program by leaving their children in their husband's care for 3 days. Two elderly women in this photo, Mrs. Kono and Mrs. Igarashi, were shaman women. They participate in this program every year to infuse spiritual power from the holy mountains. One of Shugendo signs is its footwear, straw slippers signifying the mountain ascetics' long-distance walking, which is part of their religious training. A bundle of straw slippers is hung at local temples built on the way to Mount Haguro. These slippers were worn by Shugendo practitioners in olden days and are still used in modern-day Shugendo training. But we, the lay participants of this 3-day program, walked in more comfy Western footwear such as sneakers and mountain boots, except during the performance of certain rituals. Another signifier of Shugendo is a pure white attire that resembles the death robe in Japanese Buddhist tradition. The death robe is a white kimono in which a deceased person is typically clad in a coffin during a wake. At the orientation for the participants, we changed into this training attire. The white symbolizes hypothetical death. The idea behind this is that we would be reborn upon completing this spiritual training. Thus, for this eventual rebirth, we must first die, hypothetically speaking. In this photo, our group leader, Mr. Ota, is carrying a large conch shell at the front of the line. The conch is a very important instrument of Shugendo. It is blown like a trumpet and is used where visibility across mountains is limited. Its purpose is to inform a group of Shugendo practitioners of another group's approach. However, I was also told that it signals their approach to a holy site and communicates with the deities of nature, collectively called kami in Japanese. When Mr. Ota blew the conch and its symbolic sound pierced the silence of the mountain forest, I felt in tune with whatever forces exist in nature. Shugendo shows the architectural blend of Shinto and Buddhism. For example, this red torii gate, a symbol of the Japanese indigenous religion Shinto, was found at the summit of Mount Haguro. Near the gate, there was also a large rock with a sacred straw rope around the top, another Shinto signifier. The Shugendo prayer hall has a massive thatched roof resembling a typical Buddhist temple roof. The structure also has a big bronze temple bell. The last photo displayed yet another signifier of Buddhism, a 5-story pagoda. Such architecture mixture is a signifier of the troubled history of this religion. Shugendo used to be practiced with Buddhist-style ritual, but during World War II, Shugendo was banned and the practitioners were forced to convert to Shinto. On the third day, we put on the same white kimono and lined up in front of the inn to pray to Kami for our safety. We chanted, bowed, and clapped hands. After hours of hiking downhill, we reached the bottom of Mount Yudono. There we proceeded to a water purification ritual in one of the sacred waterfalls. Even in August, it was chilly in the mountain. We took off our robes and changed into water ritual attire. For women, a white swimsuit consisting of a jacket and a pair of shorts. For men, only a loincloth. There we performed a soul revitalizing ceremony, an activity that combines prayer and exercise, as shown in this photo. The purpose of this ceremony is to shaken up our spirits within. One of the key Shugendo experiences is this water purification ritual. The man in this photo is making one of the symbolic signs of esoteric Buddhism called in by holding his index fingers at chest level. A more common gesture, particularly among the female participants, is to hold your palms together, as you see in this photo. This woman demonstrates her calm demeanor in prayer posture as she's standing against the icy cold water. In this photo, I'm shouting "Yay" with a symbolic hand gesture of cutting the air before going under the waterfall. We were instructed to do that to get fired up. Before the ritual, we were warned that the water pressure would be strong enough to damage our necks or backs. The red marks on Mr. Oda's arms are from the pressure. The main purpose of undergoing the spiritual dowsing is to purify your 5 senses, to wash away your sins from the past, and to move forward. After the water purification ritual, we were summoned to the main assembly hall that had a straw mat floor covering. It was dark inside the hall. The next big ceremony, a holy fire ritual, was about to take place. The room was becoming very warm, with a bonfire being prepared at the altar for this holy fire ritual. Once it started, the priest read in Shinto prayer style some participants' names and their wishes. Then he tossed prayer sticks into the holy fire. The intent of that performance was the central deity of this ritual, Fudo Myo, would burn away negative influences and bring back happiness and success. On our last day, we had another water purification ceremony. After that ritual, we climbed up a narrow, rusty metal ladder set on the slope of the mountain to visit the sacred cave. I cannot present an image of the cave because no photos were permitted there. It was pitch black inside anyway. In Shugendo, nature carries a spiritual significance, and the mountain is considered our primordial mother. The metaphor here is that after having your impurities removed in the water, you return to the mother's womb to be reborn. This is the very reason the program was created for lay people over 30 years ago. The founders of the program designed it to help the average person experience a metaphorical rebirth through mountain austerities and become an individual who would benefit humanities. Depending on the source, the major religions of Japan are said to be Shinto and Buddhism. But fundamentally, Japan is a secular society, if the following data are to be considered. According to Yomiuri newspaper's year 2000 survey, about 80% of the Japanese identify themselves as secular, non-believers. More recently, that statistic is said to be at about 85%. Secularism does not mean atheism. It only means not connected with a particular religion. Many Shinto and Buddhist rituals are still performed all year round. Many Japanese are also seekers of spirituality, and I've met these seekers throughout my fieldwork, and I believe they are well aware of the presence of Japan's spiritual roots. I have another reason to believe that contemporary Japanese people are the secular seekers of spirituality. For example, many religious signifiers are embedded in the artworks of Japanese popular culture, especially in films, such as these 10 examples. Departure is a 2008 Japanese film about a man who takes a job as undertaker. The film contains many religious signs drawn from Shinto and Buddhism. Another example is Mushi-shi, an anime taken from a very popular comic book series created by Yuki Urushibara. Her stories allude to Japanese legend and spiritual concept related to animism. Using the theoretical approach of semiotics, I was able to sharpen my analytical insights and decode religious symbolism embedded in those films. Semiotics was developed by the French linguist Ferdinand de Saussure and the American logician Charles Sanders Peirce through their own independent scholarly works. The theory was originally applied intensively in linguistics, but has also been adopted by other academic fields, including mythology, film analysis, and religious studies. Semiotics allows us to study signs. A sign is a symbol that represents something associated with it. A sign consists of the signifier and the signified. Recently, the importance of teaching visual literacy has been acknowledged. Visual literacy refers to our ability to comprehend and produce visually oriented materials, such as advertisement, films, and comic books. Living in this global and multimedia age, college students can benefit from developing two critical skills. Number one, the ability to discern intended messages and hidden agendas in the products of media. And number two, the ability to understand the cultural significance in products of foreign origin. Therefore, I argue that we should integrate visual literacy as a skill set into college-level curricula. To help college students develop visual literacy, I also propose that semiotics be used as a tool of analysis, particularly for the images of various religious traditions. At the end of my presentation, I would like to express my special thanks to those who helped me with this project.